Okay, hello everybody. Uh, this is Shawn Mason, and I'm at the Boston Public Library, and I'm going to record this video for GiVE TV, the beta version. So I already said who I was, and I have a list of bulletins here that I want to go through. Should maybe take 10 or 15 minutes or so, so if I could have that of your time, that would be wonderful. My father is John Mason, and he is from Broomfield, Massachusetts, a small town, working class man, working class family. I spent most of my life in Gardner. Lived in several towns across central Massachusetts, and so that's a big part of who I am. I'm currently living in Boston, trying to make it happen out here, which is more difficult than I anticipated. So, working at a country bar and restaurant. I don't have a college degree, and well, it's tough. I have a strong religious, evangelical Christian foundation that I was raised on, and well, it's a very liberal city out here, and it's a very liberal world we live in. So. Just trying to stay true to myself and true to my character while I'm out here. Now, I was recently just released from jail less than 2 months ago. Anyone that knows me would know this. It was for some crimes that I committed back in 2014. That was a rough period of my life. The crime that is well known. It's been dubbed the Holy Heist by people who are familiar with it. Along with this main crime, there were other ones that I was found guilty of. I pled guilty, actually. I didn't go to trial. I took a suspended sentence for 2 years. Made it about a year on probation, and I started using again. I was always fond of marijuana, and I was quite the traveler. Never liked being locked down much, so the probation thing was very difficult for me. That was a rough. I ended up doing 19 months on the 2 years with good time and everything. So did it at the Worcester House of Corrections. My nickname was Church while I was there because of the religious nature of my crime. Now, most of the people that were there were either users, drug dealers, because I was on work release. That's most of the type of people they allow up there. And that's not exactly what I am. My crime, while it may have been influenced by drugs, it was not a product of drugs. It was a politically motivated crime. The Holy Heist. That's why I call it that. That's something I'd like to get into more on another time. I'd like to talk about what I'm doing right now. I came out to Boston to live with a friend who had been writing me while I was in jail. A friend that goes to Emerson College for film. And I came out to Boston so that I could come out here and maybe become involved with film, maybe Emerson College, the political scene out here. It's been a lot tougher than I thought because I have no financial background of any kind. I have no financial standing. I've been working like crazy at this place called Loretta's Last Call. It's a country bar and restaurant next to Fenway Park. It's a lot of fun sometimes because you get a great crowd in there. The country music obviously is upbeat. I work with a lot of very very pretty girls, which for a guy that was recently surrounded by men constantly for 19 months, it's a nice change of pulse. be able to talk to women and work with them in a platonic setting. Well, mostly platonic. So that's been a lot of fun. It's actually more money than I've ever made in any kind of legal pursuit. So that's good. Yeah, it's been a cool experience. We had Lady Gaga at Fenway Park a few weekends ago, and we had 2 Chainz at the House of Blues, and just this past weekend we had the Country 1025 Street Party concert, where we had Kip Moore there and Chris Jansen. Those were the two headliners. They were the biggest artists. But yeah, it was. Oh, not to mention the Phantom Gourmet festival that we had on Saturday. So now I'm right in the center of like a lot of stuff that's going on, which is kind of cool for what I'm doing with GiVE, which I'll get into in a moment. Unfortunately, because of my whole exploration of crime and the subculture that I was raised to believe was wrong growing up, I spent a good 7 years exploring that stuff, and I'm starting to pay the price for it. I have bad credit. I have a criminal record, so getting my foot out into Boston has been difficult, as you can imagine. Anyone that has any similar circumstances as mine can understand. I mean, out here, you need at least $5,000 to get into a place anywhere, pretty much. Even if it's because of first class security, realtor's fee, you need good credit. You need to know someone, kinda. The friend that I was staying with, we ended up parting ways. So I haven't been staying with him anymore. That's all I'm gonna say about that. And it doesn't look like I'm actually gonna make it out to Boston the way I wanted to. So I'm now reevaluating my plan. I'm gonna try to keep my job at Loretta's, but I'm going to go and perhaps live in Leominster, is what it's looking like right now. Leominster or Fitchburg. I have a very dear friend of mine that's currently living there now, and we're looking forward to helping each other out. We're both trying to gain legitimacy, stability, and live like adults, and I think the two of us will be good for each other in that respect. And I'm also hoping to collaborate with her on my work. So, Leominster is a city, technically, but it's really a town, just with the spirit of the place. It's the home of Johnny Appleseed. They just had their 100 years as a city festival back in, I think it was 2015, which I attended the opening of the time capsule. It was kind of cool. Definitely a small town feel in Leominster, even though they're a city. I mean, definitely compared to Boston, which is a very different type of place. And I like it out there. I like the nature. It's a little reminiscent of Brimfield, which Brimfield is known for its antique show that comes every summer, which is huge. Biggest flea market in New England. That's about all it's known for. Also cow pastures as well. So that's Brimfield for you. So what exactly is GiVE? I want to talk about this as briefly as possible. I don't want this to be the intro to GiVE video. I just kind of wanted to jumpstart this channel. So GiVE is basically, I reached 25 years of age. I was raised in America, in a first world country, in the capitalist system, in a Christian upbringing. I've done my share of exploring on the internet, and I have a esoteric and a classical education, and basically GiVE is the culmination of all of this, and it is it's like my response to the world, and I've come to find that we live in a very extraordinary times, and I think that there's a lot that can be done in 2017, in this 21st century, that in previous time eras could not do. So that's what GiVE is, and it's a way of life. It incorporates everything. It's not so much different than what everyone's already doing. It's just a little shift of consciousness of sorts, and I think it's going to be beneficial for society. I think it's going to help the economy a lot, the political system, and I think it's going to help me a lot, which is most important. No, but seriously talking, I think I'll be able to. I think through GiVE I'll be able to achieve an economical platform that I've always wanted to reach as a kid. I grew up relatively poor. I told you I grew up in a working class family. Well, it's hard to be a working class family. I mean, we never had family trips to Disney World, or, I mean, if I wanted anything more than Walmart clothes, I had to get a job and get them myself. Like, a new video game, I had to wait for Christmas for that. Like, these are the types of things. I mean, McDonald's was going out to eat. We didn't go to sit-down restaurants. Like, I'm just trying to paint a picture of, like, how I grew up. And I don't want to live like that the rest of my life. I consider myself an intellectual, and it's tough coming from a working class family. I mean, obviously we need the working class. We love the working class here in America, but I want something more than that, and I'm not sure college is the route for me. And that's all stuff maybe I can get into more later. And I think most importantly than anything else, than even gaining this economical platform that I want to be a part of, even I think this is the right thing to do. I think it needs to be done. I think it's what God would want me to do. If God were in man form, if I were able to speak to Him, which of course I can speak to Him because I have a relationship with God because of Jesus and because of Krishna and because I have freedom of religion in this country. So all those things are great. So I think GiVE's gonna be great. I'm gonna have to do a little more than make a YouTube video here and there. I plan on writing a piece of writing. I want to write I don't want to call it a book because it's not really like a book like that. It's a project, I guess, that I would like to be able to share with people and read it, so maybe they can kind of grasp what this is. So that's that. As far as social media goes, if you think this is interesting, if you'd like to track the progress of this, I'm not on everything right now, and my wielding of these social media tools is a little rusty. But I have a Google Plus account, Shawn Mason. You should be able to find me. My email is ruforgive@gmail. That's AREYOU, the number 4, and GIVE. That's how you spell that. You can contact me on that email. You can use that email to find me on Google Plus, where I try to keep people updated of what I'm doing. I have an Instagram page which I update a little more than my Google Plus account. It's called Young Rich Homeless, all spelt the grammatically correct way, all one word. and that's just kind of this concept of you know, that I'm young and I have a rich soul, but I don't have a home. So that's this Instagram page is hopefully a personification of that, and might become a time capsule for this period of my life. I've been putting off Snapchat and Facebook. Facebook is there's a lot going on Facebook. It's a mess. You're probably on Facebook, so you know. I have no interest in being on Facebook right now. As far as Snapchat goes, it's just not for me for right now. I find it very archaic. It's a cool tool. I love the people that use it. I think it's great. It's American for sure. Definitely American. To be able to just make an app like that and make tons of money off of it. I mean, that's the kind of thing that give respects. Give respects to that a lot. So okay. Awesome. So that's it for social media right now. You know, eventually I want to use this YouTube account as part of a tool for GiVE. You know, I want this to be a channel that people can go to on a weekly basis and see what's going on with GiVE. I want to have playlists of stuff that is both informative, trustworthy, and definitive of what GiVE is about. And so far I haven't done a whole lot with that. I did make a GVE country playlist, GVE being kind of the acronym, the dropping of the I in GiVE, so you have GVE, which is, you know, a three-letter acronym, and kind of has a nice ring to it, I think, you know, hey, I'm GVE, you know, but yeah, anyways, GVE country playlist, there's like 30-something songs on it. There's mostly songs that are, you know, have all been hot this year, and I think they're definitive of the country music genre right now. Mostly stuff that I all caught from Country 102.5 radio that I listened to a lot when I was in jail. You know, stuff that I hear at work. Too, it's all newer country. Past 2 years. If you'd like to listen to that, try to understand the country music genre a little better, that'd be great. You know, eventually I would like to do a little more research into the industry itself, into, you know, Nashville and the record labels and the lifestyles of the artists. I just don't have the time for that right now. But that's something I would like to do. So I'm calling this the GiVE TV beta. To wrap this up, this is GiVE TV. This is the beta version because, well, I'm not accustomed to talking on television, and this is all very free form. I did write some notes, but most of this has all been off the hip, so to speak. Yeah, eventually I want this to be like a legitimate thing. Maybe I could go to a TV studio and record GiVE TV updates. I know Athol. I have family out in Athol, and I know that Athol has a good TV. For a small town, they have a good TV station. Leominster might too. I don't know. I'll have to look into it. When I get to Leominster, I'll let everyone know. If you're watching this in the future, I want to say thank you for digging back to the archives here and watching this. That's really cool. That's one of the cool things about media and why I've been putting it off for so long. Is just the impact that you can have with this type of thing. I mean, right now, a video like this, I'm only expecting maybe 10 or 15 people to watch, but in another year, that might be 100, 200 people. In another 5 years, I mean, if GiVE really takes off the way I think it has the potential to do so, this could be worldwide. I mean, I want it to be national by 2020, before the election. I want to have a voice in the election, more so than in the past. I've never voted before. And I support Trump for the most part. I mean, definitely over Clinton. I think Clinton would have been a disaster. And but I think I have a good balance of both the liberals and the conservative viewpoints, and I lean conservative myself. I had a liberal phase when I was younger. So, I have connections to both sides of the political arena, and I'm hoping that GiVE can become a media voice for the kind of generation of people that just don't identify with the left or the right. Because I thought Bernie Sanders was really cool too. I thought Trump was intriguing. He still is intriguing, and I understand why he was necessary and why he happened. And yeah, and I don't know if Kanye West is going to run in 2020 or not, or if that was a joke. I'm not sure. Okay, yeah. And I would appreciate any feedback on this video. And there's also a GoFundMe page for Are You Forgive as well, which is the same as the email, just with a question mark on it. You should be able to search it and find it. If this is something that you would like to contribute money towards, or anything else, please go to the page, contact me, and message me, and I would really appreciate it. So I gotta wrap this up. I'm heading out to work in an hour or so I gotta get ready for that. And thank you all for tuning in and listening. Good night.